Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to a new class. Today we are in a critical reading and writings. So today we would like to introduce you to this lecture because this is new for you after you had a previous reading class. Now you are improve your reading into next levels of reading, that is critical reading, and also not just reading, it is followed by the writings. Okay, so before we go to about the critical readings and writing, we'll start with the rules first. The rules of the class that we have to obey. The first, because this is a kind of online class, so you need to use your real name and in your profile names or in your WhatsApp profile names or in your email profile name. Okay, so always use your own real name to make it easy for identify this student. The second, the lecture will be divided into two kinds. The first is theory and practice. So for example, this week we will have a theory, and next week we will have a practice. The practice can be in form of speaking in book report, about your reading report, or it can be in form of writings. So your report on reading can be in form of speaking, or can be in form of writings. Okay. Next, in the lecture there will be 3 sessions: the pre, during, and the question and answer. So pre here is before our lectures begin, and the second during here is in our meetings, during delivering the materials, and then the question and answer before we finish the lecture. If you have any questions, so you are allowed to ask the question in this session. So with that divisions of the session in our lecture, you are not allowed to have a chat during the lessons, except for informing the technical error. Maybe sometimes the sound or the voice is not clear, or maybe there are some technical errors, etc. You can give me the information. So you can chat me during the lesson to give the information about the technical error and etc. Next, you are allowed to have a questions on or discussion in a question and answer session. Okay. Next, the attendance list will be given in the last session or after the questions and answer is over. So every times the class over, I will give you a link to the attendance list. It will be in form of Google form. Now we go to the course description. So critical reading and writing is a kind of advanced reading. It is not the basic or intermediate, it is an advanced reading. It aims to enable students to first implement the critical reading strategies involving skepticism and logical investigation. So it's different from your before reading, your low levels reading. It is involved the skepticism. Skepticism here means you doubt. You try to doubt, to try to questions on the reading. Okay, and then try to prove your doubt, or try to prove your hesitations, your questions on the text by investigating the claim or investigating the proof, etc. So it is a kind of active reading. You are not just a passive reading, understand, try to know the reading content or to understand the reading content. No, but you will be active in not just understanding but also in analyzing, questioning, evaluating, etc. Next, expressing the result of critical reading into review and scientific essay. So in active reading, you are not just merely a consumer of the text, but you are the producer. So as a producer, you have to be able to talk back. You have to be able to have a conversations with the text, and the result of the conversations or the talk back is in form of review or scientific essay. Okay, so that's why this lecture is combinations between reading and writings. Okay, next, the course outcome. So after you finish this course, it's expected that you will be a person that can integrate your experience, your value, your belief into a social conversation and the context. With these kinds of critical reading and critical writings, you are involved in academical conversations. Yeah, you will be actively producing the knowledge, producing the your personal experience, value, beliefs, etc. Next, after this lessons over, it is expected that you will be able to find, evaluate, and analyze the primary and secondary source text for reliability, relevance, and validity. So, as I told you that we want you to be an active reader. You will not just know the text, you will not just understand the text, but you have to evaluate the text, you have to analyze the text, prove that the text is strong in the arguments or weak in the arguments, etc. So next, then after you are able to find, evaluate, and analyze the text, it is expected that you will produce your argumentative text by synthesizing the source that you have you learn, and then your own idea. So after you finish reading, you can find, you can evaluate and analyze the reading text. Now your turn to express your own idea by synthesizing what you've got from the text and your own idea. So the last, it is expected that you will provide the valid, reliable, and appropriate support for the claim and analyze evidentiary support your text for your text. So as the response of your reading, as a response to the text, you make your own text, but you have to make sure that you also provide your text with a valid, reliable, and appropriate support for your claims. Okay. Next, the sub-course outcome. The first is understanding the vocabulary. Of course, you have to be understood the vocabulary to first to know and to comprehend the text, and also understand the meaning too. And after that, you have to be able to evaluate the arguments, the evidence, and the sources. Not just the verbal text, it is expected that you are able also to evaluate the argument, evidence, and sources in the reading visuals. Okay, reading visual here can be in form of, for example, advertisement, television program, YouTube channel, etc. Okay, because you know that our era is not just the verbals era, not just the written text spread all over the internet, but also the visuals. And the visual here is more enticing, is more persuading than the written text. And then the last, you make a simple argumentative essay. So back again in this lecture, you are not just forced to be a active reader, not just forced to be a passive reader, but also active reader who can understand the text, evaluate the text, analyze the text, and also produce your own text. Okay. Now we go to assessment. The assessment here will be from first the midterm test, the final term test, and the assignment. Each of these aspects will contribute different percentages The first is for the midterm test, it contributes 30%, yeah, and then the final term test it contributes 35%, yeah, and the highest, and then for assignment it will be 20%. In the midterm test will be in form of reading report. So for example, I ask you to find a book of scientific articles, and then you have to report it to me. You have to be able to evaluate the text, analyze the text, finding the claims, the support, etc. And then for the final test, it will be in form of essay. You make your argumentative essay, yeah. And then the assignment will be there will be 2 assignments in the first half semester and the second half semester. In the first half semester, you have to be able to make a reading club e-bulletins. So it will be in a group. You choose your own groups, and then you try to make your own bulletins. This is in form of e-bulletin, so it is not a written bulletins. And you don't need a paper, you just need blog, or you just need a website. You have to publish it in form of the e-bulletins. And the e-bulletin here is in form, it will be in 2 volumes or bi-monthly. The bulletin will contain the text or book or article review, the opinion or essay, and last it will be in group. And next contribution for your assessment is attendance. It contributes 15%. Okay, so that's all for today. Overview of our lessons. Yeah, what is the lesson about? What are the outcomes that we expected you after you finish this? And then the assessment, what are the elements of assessment that contribute for your marks, etc. Okay, if you don't have any questions, I would be happy to answer it. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.